Lexus shocked the world when it introduced the LFA supercar several years ago. However, that model's small production run and stratospheric price tag made sure you wouldn't see one roaming the streets. Now we have the LC, which is not a direct follow-up to the LFA, but instead a luxurious grand tourer with a more affordable price tag. So let's go ahead and check out the new flagship of Lexus. The first thing I notice about the LC is just how futuristic it looks. So we'll start off with a walk around of the exterior design and features. Up front, you of course have a spindle grille, which makes it instantly recognizable as a Lexus. It has a unique mesh texture in the middle that changes visual tension as it goes across, according to its designers at least. I just think it looks good and very aggressive. The headlights are also really unique. All three components have been separated from one another, with the top one being 3 compact LED headlights. Slicing off from that, you have the signature Arrowhead daytime running lights, and the LED turn signal is next to the brake cooling duct. By the way, besides for blue badging, the LC500h is identical to this regular LC. This view gives you a good look at the LC's proportions. As you can see, the rear is significantly wider than the front, visually speaking. Overall length comes in at 187 inches, which is about halfway between an IS and a GS for reference. This all makes the LC have an eye-catching athletic stance. The curb weight is 4,280 pounds for the LC500, and about 200 more for the hybrid. It rides on an all-new platform called GAL, which will eventually house several other Lexus models. Coming up to the wheels, we have one of several options. These are the biggest wheels available, 21-inch split 5-spoke forged alloy wheels with gloss black accents. There are also optional 20-inch 10-spoke wheels that look pretty similar to the 21s, and then the base wheels are 20 inches with black contrast spokes. The same applies to the hybrid. It's difficult to see, but the wheels have a layered design on the spokes. Like with any sports car, you need big brakes to slow down, so Lexus gives the LC 15.7-inch 6-piston ventilated disc brakes in the front, and 14.1-inch ones in the rear. On the 500h, the brakes also collect some of the energy lost from braking and send it to one of the electric motors. We also have Michelin Pilot Super Sport tires for maximum performance. The mirrors have all the regular features like heating and auto dimming, though I don't think they fold. Blind spot monitoring is one of the only safety features that is optional. These door handles are straight from the concept car, but they don't pop out on approach like the NSX. And you've got a small cooling duct back here. Oddly enough, the hybrid actually has a bigger fuel tank than the V8 model. That means that the hybrid has a massive fuel range advantage, coming in at 666 miles. The regular LC, by comparison, has 254 miles less range at 412. This is one of the rare instances where the majority of the concept styling has come to life. Now these taillights may be my favorite part of the LC. They have this really neat 3D design, which changes depending on how you look at it. Of course, they are shaped like L's. The turn signal is separated down here, just like on the front. Both the LC500 and 500h have dual chrome exhausts. If you get a little closer though, you'll see that they're actually quad exhaust. Since this LC has the performance package, we have a power deploying spoiler. It rises at speeds above 50. Also part of that performance package is this carbon fiber roof. It's made using the same technique developed for the LFA supercar. Now let's check out the gorgeous interior. So here's the key fob. I apologize for the plastic bag, but as you can see, it is more or less the same as what we've seen before. So when you unlock the car, the flat door handles pop out. While the awesome exterior styling and performance are reasons to buy an LC, probably the biggest reason is right here. A Grand Tourer needs to have a luxurious interior, and the LC goes above and beyond. This is the really rich toasted caramel color, but you can get as bland as black or as crazy as Rioja red and the bespoke blue, white, and caramel combination. The door trim is of course incredibly luxurious. The majority is Alcantara, but everything else is real leather. Up here is a gorgeous metal handle. Performance package models get carbon fiber door sills as well. The seats themselves are 10-way power with 2-way lumbar, and these buttons are some of the nicest I've ever touched. Even the area around them is covered in leather. Opting on either the sport or performance packages gets you the Alcantara seat inserts. Otherwise you get real leather or optional semi-aniline leather. It sets pretty low to the ground as expected. Looking around the LC's cabin just gives you an immediate feeling of specialness that very few cars can give. It goes without saying that the materials in here are top-notch. Above the gauges you have Alcantara, and literally everything else is stitched supple leather. As a general rule of thumb, if you can see it or touch it, it's probably leather. There is satin metal trim here and there, and this grab handle is a nice touch. This is probably the most luxurious cabin I have been in. This button looks really nice as well. I won't start it up since we're inside, but I've got it in accessory mode so you can see everything lit up. These are LFA inspired gauges, measuring in at 8 inches. They have a really cool look to them, and you can flip through the standard stuff like fuel economy, tire pressure, and range. There are also performance gauges for G-force and the rear spoiler status. Pretty slick setup overall. The steering on the LC is electric power. The wheel itself is covered completely in leather, and it even extends to the airbag cover. Behind the wheel you have huge paddle shifters. They definitely have a nice feel to them. These are pretty much your standard controls. And on this side you have adaptive cruise and other safety systems. Rain sensing wipers are also included. This is the first Lexus to get these little stalks, this one for the drive modes. There's several different designs for the tach depending on which mode you're in. And the one on the left is to turn off traction control if you really want to get wild. Like in most cars, you'll find a row of buttons down here, one of which is for the optional heads-up display. This isn't showing up real well on the camera, but it does show stuff like your speed, RPM, and a compass. Storage space is pretty good for a coupe. This is big enough for a phone or something, but if it's not enough space, just use the rear seats for storage. When it's closed, the leather flows seamlessly into the remote touchpad. You'll notice that it's the updated version that functions like a laptop trackpad. Above it, you do have audio shortcut buttons and a beautiful metal volume knob. The shifter is electronic for better or worse, and of course wrapped in supple leather. For park, you tap the P. There's only one cup holder. The standard dual-zone automatic climate control is controlled via these elegant toggles. The info does also appear on the screen, so you don't have to take your eyes off the road. And since we're up here looking at it, let's go ahead and check out the updated 10.3-inch Lexus Inform system. This is a new version not seen in any other Lexus models yet, since instead of a home screen, we have a menu bar lining the bottom. Hovering over it, you can quickly select certain things within that app. Here are all your audio sources you can choose from besides the standard radio ones. And this is the map. Since the screen isn't touch, it's nice that they allow you to pinch to zoom on the touchpad. Now, something pretty unique that Lexus offers you is this smaller side screen. You can have it show things like your audio, climate, or navigation. If we head further up, you'll find an auto-dimming rearview mirror with a frameless design. And further above that is touch capacitive LED lights. Normally you do have a moonroof, but the carbon fiber roof replaces it. The headliner is really nice though. So overall, I can confidently say that this is the best interior I have ever been in, and I imagine it's one of the nicest money can buy. And while this one does have a sticker over 6 figures, it seems worth it. Anyways, we'll finish things up by checking under the hood. I saved the powertrain for last because one of the two options is very complicated. But let's start with the easy one, the LC500. Powering it is this naturally aspirated 5-liter V8, shared with the RC and GSFs. In this application, it produces 471 horsepower and 398 pound-feet of torque. Power is delivered to the rear wheels via a 10-speed automatic transmission. A Torsen Unlimited slip differential is also optional. All this gets the LC to 60 miles per hour in a scant 4.4 seconds. So while the LC500 is kicking it old school with a big V8, adding that H to the end makes things do a 180. I'm pretty sure you would need an engineering degree to fully understand this setup, but I'll do my best to explain it. You start off with a 3.5-liter V6 engine instead of the V8. From there, it is paired with 2 electric motors and a lithium-ion battery pack, together producing 354 horsepower. Now the real confusion comes from the transmissions, because there are actually 2 of them. Like most hybrids, there is a CVT, but there is also a 4-speed automatic on board as well. How this works is basically that 3 simulated CVT shifts correspond to 1 gear on the 4-speed automatic. This has the effect of a 10-speed automatic, but only 4 of the shifts are real. I've never heard of anything remotely like this setup in any other car. As far as performance goes, you don't lose much from the regular LC, with the 0 to 60 time of 4.7 seconds. What you gain, however, is a giant fuel economy increase. The V8 is rated for 16 city, 26 highway, 19 combined, but the hybrid gets 26 city, 35 highway, 30 combined. That's incredible for something with this much performance. Well, that does it for our review of the all-new Lexus LC. I really wish we could take it on a test drive, but its 6-figure price tag means that's definitely not going to happen. Anyways, pricing is coming up next, and join us again as we sample the latest automotive delicacies, from exotics to mainstream.